Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another Yap session. This is the second Yap session of the day, as promised. We're going to be talking about something very simple. It's going to be moving out. So if this video finds you, it's most likely going to be at the right time. You're probably on the edge of moving out. You're probably already moved out, and you can speak from experience how much it's helped change your life. And you're probably also falling into the category of people who want to move out but can't do so yet. So we're going to give some practical tips on how to do that, and I'm going to give you my reason why I made this video in the first place. Okay, so like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. So this was me like 12 months ago. I was in my brother's bedroom. I just dropped out of uni. My family didn't expect me to drop out of uni that quick, so I didn't have didn't fully prepare. I just had to make do of what I had in the house. So there was a bunk bed. My stepbrother was sleeping on it. I had to share the bunk bed with my stepbrother for 9 months straight after I dropped out of uni. That's my cat, Lightfoot. Miss him to bits. Great guy. This is me sleeping. I got caught lacking. Cat is sleeping on top of me. So yeah, this is an old video. This is one of my most viewed videos, and it was filmed in my little brother's bedroom that we were sharing back in the UK, and it has like Avengers posters and whatnot. So it's just pretty cool to see the transformation. I didn't have the best environment to make videos with, but I still made videos with it. Okay, so fast forward to now, I was able to move out there. This is my home in Thailand. Well, one of the places I stayed for 3 months in Thailand. Oceanfront view, pool, patio. We're in Thailand, guys. This is amazing. We got palm trees everywhere. We got nature. We took a nice ass villa. There's a tour on my channel which you can go check out, which I'll probably link to this video in the top right. This is a video I made. It's all documented on my channel, guys. If you go on my YouTube, let's go on my YouTube. I want to show you guys, just for legitimacy purposes, that this is all 5 minutes by the end. All documented. These are the videos from Philippines. Boom. These videos were when I was in Thailand. This is actually the villa tour. You can go check it out there. So yeah, guys, you see the villa, and then literally right before that, I was doing videos in my stepbrother's bedroom back in UK, and I wasn't living under my own home. Okay, so there you go. And then if you're wondering what this is where I live now in Philippines. It's in a condo in Manila. So that's where I live now. But yeah, guys, I want you guys to move out. One of the reasons why I want you guys to move out is the first thing, which is you get independence. You get to call your own shots. You get to call your own shots and make your own decisions. This is so important if you want to progress in life and you want to take your life to the next level. You need to be able to make your own decisions. At least if you're working a 9 to 5, if you're working for a boss, at least have your own place, guys. Because we don't need two sets of people telling you what you can and can't do. At least when you have a 9 to 5 and you have your own place, you get to decide what you do in your own place, in your own household, provided you're a responsible person. So call your own shots, make your own decisions. When I was back at home in my parents' house, and again, this is no shot to my parents, I need to make it very clear that I do not hate them. We have a great relationship now. But back then, it wasn't the best, because I had my own way of wanting to do things. I was trying to do my own business. I was trying to do my own set of rules, and they had their own set of rules. Yet I couldn't respect my own set of rules because they had theirs. I was living under their household. So there was a lot of things I couldn't do, which made me emotional, made me mad, made me stressed, made me anxious, made me, just very angry and frustrated, So that's not the place you want to operate business with and operate your life around. So if you just move out, you get your own space. You finally get to call your own shots in life. You make your own decisions for once. Okay, this has been the biggest reason why I moved out, and this has been one of the biggest things that's helped me. Okay, so you get to become a responsible human being, a responsible adult. Doesn't matter if you move out at 18, 19, 25, 35, you get to call your own shots. You develop and you mature as a person. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing why I want you guys and I encourage you guys moving out is because you expose yourself to a better environment. Now, especially if you move somewhere like Southeast Asia, which I have done. Excuse me. Like I went to Thailand for 3 months and I went to the Philippines. I'm still in the Philippines today. You expose yourself to a better environment. Now, you might think these countries are poor, but in reality, there's always like poor and rich places. If you go to South America, it's things like Mexico, things like Argentina. That's a great and nice environment to be in. You got nice people, you got the sun, you got the weather, you got good food. It's pretty cheap to live there depending where you go. Same with Southeast Asia, it just depends on what flavor that you want. But you're exposing yourself to a better environment. You're going to make... Which version of you do you think is going to make the better decisions? Is going to have the better quality of life? The version of you or the version of me at least, that was living under my parents' house, is the version of you living under your parents' house going to be the best version? It's going to make the best decisions? No. It's going to be the one that's moved out, that's making their own decisions, that pays the rent, and that is exposed themselves in a better environment, an environment that's more conducive to growth, where they're kind of forced to make a new social circle. They have to meet new people. They have to maybe learn the language that they moved into and that they don't know. They have to adjust to the climate. They have to pay the rent. They have to find a way to make an income out there. So you're exposing yourself to an environment, to a better environment. You're getting in touch and you're exposing yourself to better, high quality, high vibrational people. For example, me being in Koh Samui, Thailand, I exposed myself to a ton of like other entrepreneurs and a ton of other people doing appointment setting, doing high ticket sales, running their own thing, having paid communities, people who have a large following on Twitter or Instagram, people who are doing their own thing, who don't work for a 9-to-5 anymore, they don't work for a boss, they work as a freelancer, they have their own business going. These are all great people you want to network with, professional fighters even. When it came to Manila, same sort of thing. I was exposing myself to, and now Manila is like more of the city life than the island life. So there's more people. I mean, it's no secret that it's one of the most populated cities in the world. But what comes with that is a ton of opportunities, a ton of people that you can meet. And, being in the city, there's a lot of nice hotels, a lot of nice bars, and there's a lot of wealth floating around. So if you just get into the right rooms there, you're going to meet a ton of killers. And you're going to learn a lot from them. You're going to have conversations. You're going to make connections. Okay, so number 2 is you expose yourself naturally to a better environment. Instead of shutting yourself out from the world and isolating yourself in your parents' basement all day, trying to do deep work, a lot of your growth is actually going to come from putting yourself out in environments that's going to make you grow, and putting yourself in situations where you're going to bump into high-level people and get high-level ideas. You're going to think more creatively. You're going to think more abundantly because you're in such a wealthy environment in a nice place. Like I said in my last YAP session, my last video, I challenge you to do this. Do what Eamon Ghazi tells you to do. Get a coffee, go to the nicest hotel lounge in your city or close to you, and then just work there. Just work there, come back the next day if you want to, and just take it all in. And then soon it's going to become the new normal. This amount of wealth is not really going to intimidate or scare you anymore because it's just what you do every day, all right? So that's the second thing, is you expose yourself to a better environment. The third thing why I believe you should move out, kind of similar to the second point, is you put pressure on yourself. I'm going to put a healthy amount of pressure, because too much pressure can not be good. Sometimes, it's unfortunate some people get into crazy amounts of pressure where, let's say, they can't make their rent, they're struggling behind bills, they get evicted. I don't know whatever happens to people these days, but a healthy amount of pressure is good. This is what we're aiming for, because if you don't have enough pressure on yourself, you become comfortable, you become complacent, and you feel like you're going to be okay, so you start to slack off. You start to take the foot off the gas pedal, and then your business starts to tank, your commissions start to tank, your health starts to deteriorate because you're not putting as much pressure on yourself, you're not holding yourself to the same kind of standard. Now, it's very, very easy to slack off and be complacent when you have parents supporting your lifestyle, so parents like putting, or someone putting a roof above you, and you don't have to do much, to be honest. Now, it's a lot easier, and it's a lot harder to actually fall complacent when you actually pay the rent, when you actually have moved out into your own place. Okay, so a healthy amount of pressure is good. It leads to great ideas. It leads to great action. For example, when I was in Koh Samui, I was I'm gonna tell you a story. So there was a point where in the first month I was going a bit crazy on my commissions. I was going a bit crazy on spending money. It got to a point where I was, no joke, I was almost out of money. I was almost out of money. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was almost out of money. I only had like a couple hundred left in my account. On top of that, I had rent to make. On top of that, I had to do my visa run soon, and on top of that, I had to eat food. So a lot of pressure was on me. Like there was nights I struggled to sleep. I was just in a constant state of anxiety. I was very scared, to be honest. And there were also times when I was fasting for long periods of time because I genuinely had to think about sacrificing. Okay, should I either get food or should I save this money for something else? So, and most of the time, the food wasn't worth getting. Even if it was super cheap, all right. So that just goes to show how much pressure, how badly I messed up at one point when I was in Thailand. Okay, so that just puts the perspective that I'm not perfect and I screw up. Okay, and I put myself in those bad situations sometimes. Now, I'd say that's not a healthy amount of pressure anymore. That's just like too much pressure. But despite that, that is actually a blessing in disguise. That's what birthed today the Art of Appointment Setting, which, as you guys probably know or don't know, is one of my offers. It started off as an ebook, and I got like 20 something sales in the first 2-3 days of that launching. And I basically I made rent again. I was able to make rent again. I was able to pay for my visa run. I was able to pay for food again. I was able to eat again. I was able to go out again. Just because in those last few days during crunch time, when I was almost like out of money, I cooked up the Art of Appointment Setting ebook in like 2 days straight. I didn't really get much sleep. I just cooked it up and then I released it to the public. Sales started flowing in and I launched it. So there you go. Prime example of a healthy amount of pressure. Good ideas come from that. So I hope you guys don't get into that sort of situation, but it just goes to show that it can be a blessing in disguise. It forces you to take action, okay? So that's number 3. Number four is you feel, and this is more of like you could say like egotistical or selfish reason, but this is a good reason nonetheless. You feel like the man, or if you're a woman, you feel like the boss babe. Okay, now you feel like the man, especially when you're young. If you're young, most young guys, they don't have their own place, or if they do, it's probably most likely, and again, it's no shot to them, but most likely it's just going to be like a uni dorm, which there's nothing wrong with that, because I used to be in uni too, so I had my own dorm, I had my own accommodation, okay? But when you have your actual place, and especially if it's a nice place, man, there's no better feeling than that. Like there's not many things that compare to having your own place, being able to do what you want, especially it being nice, you getting to call your own shots, you paying the rent, you being like putting on the big boy pants, and yeah, having your own place and having control over it. And then also like if you want to take girls back, you don't have to fucking be worried or say you can't because you're living with your parents. No, you have your own place. You can take girls back if that's what you're into. Okay, you can invite friends too around your place. You guys can have fun. You can watch, I don't know what you can play Xbox. I don't know what you guys want to do, but you can invite friends around. You can invite family. You can host parties. You can host events. You can bring girls back. Yeah, you just feel like the man. You do whatever you want because it's your house. You know, you pay the rent there. All right. So nice little bonus reason as to why you should move out. Just feel like the man / boss babe. Okay. So I want you guys to move out. I want you to, don't worry so much. Don't listen to the people that are like, oh, you should stay at home. You should stay at home for a few years so you can stack up on finances and you don't have to worry about expenses so much. And then when you're ready, then you should move out. Well, listen here, Buster. I could have easily done that. I didn't choose to do that. The reason I didn't choose to do that is because if I had just stayed at home and stacked up on commission, staying in an environment where I was butting heads with my parents all day. A lot of creative ideas weren't coming out. I was just a little bitch, to be honest. Like, this is the bitch version of me. This is the better version of me now. If I just stayed at home in my own bedroom for like 2 years straight, just trying to save my money until I was ready, I would have missed out on those 2 years. I wouldn't be where I am today in these 2 years. The things I would have learned, I wouldn't have learned in these 2 years. The memories and experiences and the stories and the people that I've met and the fun that I've had over these past 2 years, it wouldn't exist if I just stayed at home and got complacent and got comfortable, or didn't want to move out or pull the trigger and act in fear. Okay? That's why I want you guys to move out. You won't feel 100% ready doing it, but just do it. Okay? Because you're going to figure out along the way. You're kind of forced to anyway. So, move out, guys. Some suggestions, some tips, practical tips to do that is, if you're in a beginning stage of your career or your business, let's say you just started appointment setting, you just started high ticket sales, you just started your own business, and you're still early and you're not making a ton of money, look at Southeast Asia. Look at South America. Those are the main places I'd look at. Do your research. Like, be specific about what kind of life you want to live, what kind of weather you want, how much you want to be spending per month. Basically just do your research, what kind of lifestyle you want, and then just reverse engineer the type of place that you'd want to live in. How will that align with the type of lifestyle that you want? Okay, so do your research. What I want is not going to 100% align with what you want. Look on Airbnb, Facebook Marketplace. Obviously be careful, because sometimes there could be scams, but I'm sure you guys are grown up now. You can sort it out. Airbnb, Facebook Marketplace, connections if you have any, social media. I know for Thailand they have this thing called Fazwaz. I know in Philippines they have this place called RentPad. Or just look at what the website is for your country, and then it shouldn't be too hard to find a place that fits your budget and that you could possibly live long term. All right. If you want, and ideally, this is actually the best thing to do in my opinion, it's one of the best setups. Ideally, you live with like-minded people. In Thailand, I got 2 other friends to live with me, and we split the rent, so now rent is even cheaper for this villa. We're only paying like $1,000 each. This is usually $3,000, not including utilities. So imagine paying only $1,000 a month in a nice ass villa like this. What is $1,000 going to get you back in the UK? I don't know. Probably not even a 1-bed bungalow. So ideally you live with like-minded people. It just makes things easier. You guys can work together. You guys can bounce ideas off each other. You can split expenses, and it's just, the setup's a whole lot more fun. But if you want to live on your own, you can. I know right now in Philippines I do live on my own, in the condo on my own, but I have friends here, so that's good. So yeah, just do that. Obviously work hard and stack up. So you do have savings, at least, or you have an emergency fund or a safety net should things go south, and gives you peace of mind. But apart from that, if you're making like a consistent income, let's say like for setting, for example, or sales or your business, if you're making a consistent income for 1 to 3 months straight, and you're like 70 to 80% confident you can sustain it, that's a good time to move out. Plus you have some savings. All right. So yeah. Number 5 as well, we just put it as well. It just encompasses the all 4 points, is you just grow. Growth happens extremely rapidly once you move out. Okay, I don't really have to explain that. Pretty obvious. Growth happens extremely rapidly once you move out. I probably grew the amount I grew just being separated and living independently. It's probably learned like the lessons most people would learn in 3-5 years. I learned it in just like 1 to 2 years max. So it goes to show how fast growth happens once you move out. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it there. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you guys take the leap and it inspires you to make a change and inspires you to pull the trigger to leave the nest, because the bird's got to leave the nest eventually, especially if you're coming to that age. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. A bit of a different one today, but I want to make sure I hope this helps you out. I'm sure it does help you out. A lot of my viewers are younger guys, so this is going to help them out a lot. So story of the day: move out. This is why. Here's some tips. If you have any more questions, just comment it or hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.